Hey, what's going on, guys? The Electrican's back here, and welcome back to another NFL video. Today, I'm going to be going over my 2023 NFL season predictions. We're going to go through each award, see who I think is going to win every award, and then we're going to go through every division from last place to first place and see how those play out. And I actually originally really wanted to go with Joe Burrow here, but I don't know how much time he's going to miss with that with the injury he had on his calf. So yeah, he could miss 2 games, he could miss no games, he could miss 5. I don't know, he might miss 6 games. I really don't know, but yeah, that's the only reason I didn't go with Joe Burrow to win MVP. But I'm going to go with Josh Allen. He threw a lot of interceptions last year, but I think he cleans that up this year, and I think the Bills are going to be a good team. I think they're going to win their division. Spoiler alert, but yeah. I'm going to pick Josh Allen for MVP. For Offensive Player of the Year, this is going to be another boring pick. I thought about this for a while. I was just going through so many different players that I think could win this award. Oh man, like Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, a bunch of Tyreek Hill, a lot of other receivers. But I ended up going with Justin Jefferson. I know, boring pick. He won it last year. Voters fatigue might plague him from winning it this year. But I just think he's just gonna go crazy this year. I'm thinking like he could put up like 2,000 receiving yards this year. And just the thing about all these running backs is just they're so injury prone. I just didn't want to pick him. You know, Derrick Henry, I mean, he could rush for 2,000 yards this season, 20 touchdowns, but I don't see it. And, you know, especially with Tennessee's offensive line losing pieces, I just don't see it. Nick Chubb, I mean, he's had an injury history the past couple seasons. So yeah, I mean, just Justin Jefferson stood out the most to me. So that's what I went for there for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, this one was a super easy pick for me. I didn't really take much thinking. I'm going with Micah Parsons. That dude is an absolute beast, and with him moving to defensive end full time now, I mean, he's just going to go crazy. I'm thinking like 20 plus sacks. I mean, he beats double teams like absolutely nothing, and he's getting 12 plus sacks this season while playing off-ball linebacker half the time. That dude is an absolute beast. Give me Micah Parsons for Defensive Player of the Year. For Coach of the Year, this one was a tough choice, but I ended up going with Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are going to be a pretty good team this year. I'm not going to spoil my NFC North division predictions right now, but you know, I do have the Lions as a pretty good team this season, and I think a huge part of that is going to be because of Dan Campbell. Really good head coach. He's only improved every season he's been in the NFL, and yeah, there we go. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year. For Offensive Rookie of the Year, this one's going to be very controversial, but I'm going with Anthony Richardson. I think that dude is going to be an absolute beast in the NFL. I know he's a very high-risk, high-reward type of player in the draft, but man, that dude is an absolute freaking beast, and I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I know I could be very wrong, but I think that dude is going to be an absolute stud. Give me Anthony Richardson for Offensive Rookie of the Year. For Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think it's really only between 2 players. You know, maybe you could go through some of the cornerbacks like Christian Gonzalez and some of the other guys, but I went with Jalen Carter on the Eagles. Man, I'm a Bears fan. I really wanted the Bears to draft that guy. I mean, I get it. Dude has character issues, off-field issues, whatever. And we went with Darnell Wright, who I actually really liked as well. But man, I really, really wanted Jalen Carter so bad. We needed interior defensive line help. But, you know, alas, it is what it is. He's on the Eagles, adding to that insane defensive line they already have. And I think he's going to be an absolute beast. So, Jalen Carter for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. This one's kind of tough because I don't really know who's like eligible for it. Like, I feel like a lot of people are going with DeMar Hamlin, but the thing about Damar Hamlin is he played 11 games last year. So I get that he had a freak injury and he almost died, and he's gonna be fine this season. He'll play this season, but he played 11 games last year, so I don't know. Does that really make you eligible for the award? I'm not really sure, but I ended up going with Breece Hall from the New York Jets. He was a stud running back before he tore his ACL last year, and I think he's going to come back and be an absolute beast. So give me Breece Hall for Comeback Player of the Year. All right, now we're going to go through every division from last place to first place. I'm not going to go into detail too much here. I'm just going to kind of just name them off from 4 to 1. Just kind of go through these pretty quick because I don't want this video to be too long. So here we go. We're going to start in the AFC North. In fourth place, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-10. In third place, got the Cleveland Browns at 9-8. In second place, I got the Cincinnati Bengals at 11-6. And in first place, I got the Ravens at 12-5. It was a really tough pick between the Ravens and Bengals. I ended up going with the Ravens because of the significant time Joe Burrow might miss. Just give the Ravens that slight edge because Joe Burrow might be out for a little bit. So, yeah, that's what I decided there for the AFC North. For the AFC South, this one is a pretty easy pick for first place, but we're going from 4 to 1. In fourth place, I got the Texans at 5-12. In third place, I got the Colts at 6-11. In second place, I got the Titans at 7-10. And of course, in first place, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 11-6. Moving on to the AFC East here. In fourth place, I got the New England Patriots at 6-11. In third place, I got the Dolphins at 10-7. In second place, I got the New York Jets at 11-6. And in first place, I got the Buffalo Bills at 12-5. Very competitive division there. It was a tough pick between the Jets and the Bills. I've looked at both of their schedules. They both have practically the same schedules. I think the Bills are just a slightly better team. So ended up going with the Bills with one more win than the Jets to get the first place there. Moving on to the AFC West. In fourth place, we got the Raiders at 4-13. I almost said Oakland Raiders, so I stopped myself and said Raiders. In third place, I got the Broncos at 8-9. I think they could be better than that, but man, last season didn't really inspire me too much to put them over 500. Second place, I got the Chargers at 10-7, and then in first place, of course, I got the Kansas City Chiefs at 13-4. Every time I try to discredit the Chiefs, like last year, I didn't think they'd be as good as they ended up being. I thought they'd be like 10-7 last year, playoff team, but maybe an early exit. And they win 13 games and win the freaking Super Bowl. So I'm not doing that this year. Chiefs are winning 13 games again. Moving on to the NFC, we're going to start in the North in my division here. This is going to be very controversial to you guys. But in fourth place, I got the Minnesota Vikings at 6-11. In third place, I got the Green Bay Packers at 7-10. In second place, I got the Chicago Bears at 9-8. And in first place, I got the Detroit Lions at 11-6. Yes, this is going to be very controversial because I am a Bears fan and there may be some bias in my predictions, but I think we made some really good moves this offseason to help build this team up. And then I get we were 3-14 last year, but we lost so many games by one score. If you flip those one-score games, we'd have had a winning record. So that's another thing with this Bears team. They're way better last year than their record showed. And the Detroit Lions, I feel it was the same thing. You know, that team was not far off from being like a 12 or 13 win team. You flip some of those one-possession losses they had, that huge one against the Seahawks especially, that high-scoring game last year. I mean, that team was a 12, 13 win team if you flip some of those one-possession games. The Green Bay Packers, I know Packers fans, if they're watching this video, you're probably just like, oh, of course, your typical Justin Fields stan, yada, 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 whatever. I think your team is solid. I think it has potential to be a playoff team. defensively, you guys are pretty good. Offensively is solid all around. It's just the quarterback. Is Jordan Love going to be good? I don't know. I really don't know. Is he even going to start? I don't know. And the Minnesota Vikings, I don't care what any of you Vikings fans say. Your defense is absolutely freaking terrible. And you're so top heavy on your offense with Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you have that freaking, what's his name? TJ Hawkinson, who I think is overrated as fuck. I mean, outside of that, you lose Dalvin Cook, your running back. You have no run game now. And then you got Kirk Cousins, who's a game managing quarterback. He's just not good enough to win you a Super Bowl or even take you far in the playoffs. Showed last year. You lost to the freaking lousy New York Giants in the playoffs at home. Well, yeah, I went way too into detail in the NFC North because it is my division. I am a Bears fan. So, sorry about that, guys, but we're going to get on here. NFC South. In fourth place, I got the Falcons at 5-12. In third place, I got the Panthers at 6-11. In second place, I got the Bucks at 6-11 as well. And in first place, I got the New Orleans Saints at 9-8. Then in the NFC East, I got the Washington Commanders in fourth place at 5-12. In third place, I got the New York Giants at 9-8. In second place, I got the Dallas Cowboys at 10-7. And in first place, of course, I got the Philadelphia Eagles at 13-4. Moving on to the NFC West, in last place, and my worst team in the NFL this year, we got the Arizona Cardinals at 2-15. In third place, we got the Rams at 7-10. In second place, we got the Seahawks at 10-7. And in first place, of course, we got the San Francisco 49ers at 12-5. So overall, I got for my playoff teams for the AFC, in first place, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. In second place, I got the Buffalo Bills. In third place, I got the Baltimore Ravens. Fourth place, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fifth place, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Sixth place, the New York Jets. And just sneaking in at seventh place, I got the Miami Dolphins, just over the Chargers. And the team I think will come out of the AFC this year is the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they'll really pick it up toward the end of the season, and I think they're out for fire this year. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals out of the AFC. In the NFC, for my playoff standings, in first place, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. In second place, I got the San Francisco 49ers. In third place, I got the Detroit Lions. Fourth place, I got the New Orleans Saints. Fifth place, I got the Seattle Seahawks. Sixth place, I got the Dallas Cowboys. And in seventh place, I got the Chicago Bears. And the team that I think will come out of the NFC is the Philadelphia Eagles. And in the Super Bowl, Cincinnati Bengals versus the Philadelphia Eagles. If you put these two teams on paper, the Philadelphia Eagles just outmatch them completely, I feel, defensively especially. So my Super Bowl winner for the 2023 NFL season is the Philadelphia Eagles. And that pretty much concludes my NFL 2023 season predictions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please leave some comments down below on what you guys think is going to happen this year. And we will see you guys in the next video.